Hi, I'm Katie Bird. I'm a physiotherapist and clinical specialist educator within my therapy. My experience as someone that identifies as part of the LGBT community at work, I think on the whole has been really positive. I think in my kind of 17 years as being a physio, I've only really had one negative experience, and that was when I started in a new role in a different trust, and a comment was made that at least I wouldn't ever need to have maternity leave because I was a gay woman, and then conversely my then wife got pregnant about 2 months later, so made them eat the words a little bit. But I think on the whole it's always been really positive. I've kind of seen it as my responsibility and certainly within my power to be really open about my life choices, just to try and enable other people to be able to do the same. I think it's really important that you have exposure to somebody, regardless of what your walk of life is, that you can identify something with somebody that is an inspiration to you. I don't think I particularly had a role model when I was certainly doing my training, but I think throughout my career I've been able to model my behaviour on people that I've found inspirational. What I would love, and I think, you know, kind of if there was an idea of a legacy, what I would love my legacy to be when I finish my career in the NHS is that for someone I was somebody that they looked up to and thought, I can be that. I can potentially aspire to be that person. So for me, although I haven't particularly had any LGBT role models, there are people within my working career so far that I've really aspired to emulate, you know, and these have always been individuals that have really embraced inclusivity, the importance of connecting with people, the importance of inclusion when it comes to every single component of life, and the fact that we're all different, and that should definitely be something to be celebrated. The best bit of advice that I would give to somebody that identifies as LGBT, particularly starting out in a therapist career, specifically around physio, is if it's in your power to be your authentic self, then you should endeavour to do that. I'm not saying it's easy, but I think giving yourself permission to be yourself also empowers other people to be able to be their authentic self. And I think if you can make those steps early on in your career, then it will make for a better workforce more than anything. I'm really passionate about staff networks. For those people that don't really know much about staff networks, they're an opportunity for people to come together, address inequalities that are sometimes uncomfortable to address, but ultimately they are there to set the standard for driving equality within any organisation. So I would certainly endeavour, even if people don't identify as those particular groups, demonstrating that you're an ally and wanting that kind of shared drive to move things forwards and to improve accessibility for patients and staff is certainly something where I feel really passionate. Being an ally means that you understand the importance of striving towards equality. You understand the importance of inclusivity, and you understand that actually those things don't exist categorically. In some aspects, in most aspects, I think that allies are the most important component of a staff network specifically. I think for a bunch of people that identify, for example, as LGBTQ, sitting together talking about the challenges is one thing, but often we know the challenges. To have a group of allies sat around the table that are echoing and really encompassing and driving forwards in the same way is absolutely inspirational to me. It's probably only in the past maybe 3-4 years that I've explored other things outside of my career. All I can say is the value that it's added to both my professional and personal life has been exponential. I feel like I'm part of something that's really going to instigate change. And I think it's nerve-wracking joining any group. It's that fear of the unknown and that fear of obligation. And I think when it comes to staff networks, we have this ingrained kind of belief that we should know everything. And I think one of the things that's really refreshing in the meetings that we have with the LGBTQ staff network is we are all self-professed novices in this. I know my journey and I know what I've experienced. The person sat next to me knows their journey. An ally will have their own journey. It's about us all coming together and really kind of exploring what are the common threads and how can we make this better. We've all got something to add. So, and we're all really super friendly. The one thing that I'd love to see is that we have collectively built a culture where it's okay to ask. We've moved away from the expectation that I'm guilty of putting on myself that I should know about everything, which then stops me from asking questions. And when I don't ask questions, then it will lead me to making assumptions. And I know firsthand how damaging that can be as a gay woman. So I think for the trust, I would love to see a culture of confidence in wanting to learn more and wanting to know more.